Hey guys, what's up? This is Damnation-n-Hellfire, and I'm joined by Ross and Caleb tonight. And we are going to go ahead and go forthwith. The update hasn't happened yet, but I figure between with Bounty and the two TLCs we got going on, we got more than enough to talk about. So we're going to have at it. So tonight, of course, we'll be talking about the Alpha Defense TLC, the Inquisition TLC, and the Bounty feature that's been added for PvP seasons. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get right into it. And so, Kalen, you want to go ahead and talk about the Alpha Defense TLC?
Okay, from Wednesday, August 23rd at noon PST time to Tuesday, August 29th noon PST, defeat NPCs base to earn Harlock Alpha, Behemoth, Plutonium Accelerator, and Plutonium Thrower. Round 1, 3 targets. It's for the Alpha Hull. You could use any kind of Conqueror Hull, as in Prides, Gluttonies, Furies, or anything like that. Round 2 is pretty much the same, but it's for the Plutonium Accelerator. Round 3 is quite hard because you got the fleets in it. Alpha Behemoth BXP tokens and the build tokens, I think. I personally done it with the Mud Gluttonies myself. I done it for nothing. And that's really about much. All I really use Harlock Alpha for is not even from a base card, to be honest. That's about it for me.
Yeah, I know. I also use Mudgluts to do this, do the whole thing really easily, damage-free. How about people that don't have Mudgluts? What fleets would you suggest that they use?
I would suggest using, for prize pack 1 and 2, Fury with, if you've got the Vendettas built, because there was a level 70 next to my base doing it earlier with Fury and Vendettas.
There you go. What about you, Ross? Any other fleets that you would recommend?
I just did it really easy with the Rage. I couldn't believe how little damage it took. But I think that I probably the that Fury Vendetta combination would be the lowest level of that I've seen do it. I've seen is the Gluttonies, so that's what I've recommended to everyone, since you can do it damage free. So that's what I've mostly seen. So that's all I've had. I haven't seen very many people do it.
I think, if I recall correctly, and I think Spites were able to do this too, if you just would chain them through one after another, I think. But, I mean, I think this is a good time for him to come out with this campaign, because you get the Harlock Alpha Behemoth, and with what we're going to be talking about in a little while, it can definitely help out your base card.
Well, and for those of you, if you have it, I already had it, but that's a great amount of tokens for this, so I did it again for sure. I mean, this one, you don't want to miss this one.
Yeah, I mean, correct. You definitely want to, if you have the opportunity to do it and you can do it, definitely do it.
It'd be a perfect time to refit it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, because there again, with what we'll be talking about later, there's probably going to be a whole lot of people that are going to have to do some refits. We also got the Inquisition TLC.
Okay, on the Inquisition TLC, there's some restrictions on this. Now you must have a level 9 outpost and be above a level 50 base. For the first prize pack, you get the Oppressor and the 6-day build token for the, and 250k BXP token for the Oppressor. Now, I suggest
that's 25K VXP, right? Not 250.
I'm sorry. That's correct. That's 25K. And on this, I recommend it's for assault fleets. When I use the Skyfire, and I have to tell you, on this first prize pack, it was phenomenal. The amount of damage. If you're able to break this up, there's no need to coin if you happen to have a Skyfire fleet like I do. I know many people do, and I think that the Phoenix would take less damage. So with the prize pack 1, 2, and 3, I don't see any issues. If you slow repair, you should have no issues. Actually, if you slow repair through the whole thing, but basically prize pack 1, 2, and 3. Now on prize pack 2, you get the 6-day build token for the incinerator, and the incinerator 25K VXP token. Now the great thing about this whole campaign is each level is a different hull. So when you have these hulls already built, these are great tokens to put stockpile for updates, changes along the way. Now prize pack 3, it's a survivor, so you're going to get a 6-day build token for the survivor, the 25K for survivor hull. And the fourth one is the liberator, so you get the 6-day for the liberator, also the VXP token. And then prize pack 5 is the mastery run, so you can repeat this one. Now this one is for the Inquisitor, and you also get the 6-day build token, and you get the blueprint for the Inquisitor. Oh, I guess you also do get a badge if you're those people. A lot of people do collect the badges, so you get the badge for this, and you can repeat that 5 times. So if you even already have this all, I suggest you repeat it as many times as you can. I would slow repair through as much as possible for those that can, but in those that can't, it's a great way to get these tokens. These are not too hard of targets for the community. I do not believe. I like them. So
yeah, I mean, pretty much whatever assault fleet you're using to do the raid, use that same assault fleet to do this TLC, and as long as you're having fairly decent results in the raid, you should be able to breeze through this fairly easily.
I agree.
And Inquisitor, I really like the Inquisitor. I think it's a really good base hitter. I think it's an awesome hull myself.
It's an amazing
I'm
hull.
using it. I'm using it with
Right.
my rages to run my rages right now.
Right, I agree. I mean, it's a great hull. It can used with combination of other hulls, it's even greater. So the splash that it can produce is really amazing. So it's definitely a great hull. One I use. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of people using like one Inquisitor with their rages because they use the Inquisitor to go in and prep out the guard and then just use the rages to run the rest of the base. So yeah, definitely a good hull.
Yeah.
But this is all rerun stuff. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's show. Bounty. So they're starting Bounty on Friday. And here's how it's going to work. Bounty is divided up into seasons. Each season is for a specified duration. This current one that they're going to do is 4 days. So all worlds will start at the same time. There's not going to be a stagger, so you don't have alpha start one time, beta start another, blah, blah, blah. They're just all going to start at the same time. And then at the end of it, there's going to be a bounty store where you're going to be able to spend all your secured and unsecured bounty that you have at the end of the event. So let's get into how do we join the bounty hunt. Okay, there's 2 ways you can join. You can either go to your outpost where you have, all your normal things there, and there will be a bounty button. You can click on that button and join. Or over where you have your gifts and your damage protection and all that stuff, there will be a little bounty emblem there. You can click on that and join that way. To participate, you must be at least level 50 and have upgraded your outpost to level 6 or higher. So you joined. what happens now? Well, you now generate bounty for other players, and you can start stealing bounty from other players. One very important thing to note, I'm getting feedback from somebody.
I can mute.
One important thing to note, once you join for the current season, any damage protection you have, so if you're in a bubble right now and you click join, your bubble automatically goes away. And players who have joined Bounty Hunt are marked by the bounty icon next to their base, kind of like the R&D little orange bubble or orange pumpkin is there. Hopefully the bounty icon will work better than the R&D pumpkin does, because I know I currently still can't see the R&D pumpkin half the time. So hopefully we will not have that problem with this. And if people have a big bounty icon and it glows, they give you more bounty than somebody who just has a regular bounty icon. Seems pretty self-explanatory so far. Increasing your bounty level. Your bounty generation can be leveled up in the outpost to a maximum level of 4 by spending resources. Leveling up your bounty level will give you a higher daily bounty generation rate, as well as defensive boosts to your outpost. So as you can see in this display picture right here, this guy is going from level 2 to level 3, and he's getting bonuses to his ballistic defense, explosive defense, corrosive defense, basically all his defenses. And the amount of bounty he generates every day goes from 1,004 to 2,468. So that's how you increase your better odds for your OP standing up, and how you increase the amount of bounty you generate. They're having unsecured bounty and secured bounty. Unsecured bounty can be stolen at any time if you fail to defend your base. And whoever attacks you can steal up to 20% at a time per battle, as long as all they have to do is kill your OP. Your secured bounty can't be stolen. It will be determined by daily checkpoints 3 times a day. So, you know, you have like this little roadmap, and every time you get to one of these checkpoints, it takes all your bounty that you currently have and puts it in your secured bounty lockbox, and they can't be stolen at that point. In addition, you'll get mini prizes, as they call it, granted for these little milestone markers that you get between checkpoints, and you can get things like, you know, 12-hour build tokens, or maybe VXP tokens, or that kind of stuff. They haven't really specified much on what those little extra bonuses will be, but yeah, you'll get little extra bonuses as you progress. Okay, earning bounty. Everybody starts with the same amount. So it doesn't matter who you are, what level you are, as long as you meet those requirements to jump in, everybody's going to start with the same amount. And you then get more bounty based on the level of your outpost over time. You can also, then you can go out, you can smash the outpost of other people who are participating, who has more bounty than you do, to get additional bounty. Targets can be found via the locator. And clicking a base with the bounty icon will tell you how much bounty you can potentially earn from them. You know, just like we do now for medals. If you want to see how many medals somebody's worth, you click on it and it tells you what you can get. Like this guy in this example, if I were to hit him and smash him, there's 650 potential bounty that I can get from him. You guys can chime in at any point on anything you had to say.
I was thinking, what if you don't get 50%? Do you still lose medals or not? Or?
Say that one more time.
Do you know when you hit the base and you don't get 50, do you lose medals as well as the bounty?
Medals, yes. Medals are still incorporated into this whole thing. So medals will go up and down based on your hits.
Yeah.
Now, myself, I noticed on that last slide that I'm really looking forward to this bounty. So some things I'm reluctant on, but I'm going to participate in it. We're going to just see how it goes out and move forward. So I think it's going to I just like base hitting, so I'm glad they're incorporating that into the game once again. What I noticed is that you do not gain bounty for targets that that have equal to or less bounty than yourself. So therefore, I see that that's a good thing in a way that I kind of thought, well, with only a 3-hour dome, this is going to be something we're going to really be smashing. Well, if you're only to be able to attack up or to get bounty, that's kind of, that helps me out on that a little bit. So I won't be hit by so many people, only ones that I'm worth it for.
Well, I mean, my understanding is you can still attack down. You're just not going to get anything out of it.
Right. No, that I understand that. Correct.
Right. So, you know, somebody, if they just want to be a jerk and I guess still continue to just farm you over and over for no real reason other than to keep you from progressing, but that's not going to be very conductive to them getting what they want in this whole process.
Right.
Then we got the attack ante, risking bounty when you lose. If you deal more than 25% damage to the enemy player's base, but fail to destroy their outpost, you're going to lose a small amount of your bounty. Likewise, if your fleet takes 10% or more damage and fails to destroy the outpost, you will lose bounty. So that's kind of interesting that, you know, you have that potential that, okay, I'm going to go in and, oh, I failed terribly. Oh, dang, I just lost some of my bounty. That's not cool. So I kind of like that.
No, I agree on that one. I mean, that's a good deal.
Here's the way the bounty bubble is going to work. Whenever you opt in to participate in bounty, you will go on a whole different bounty bubble chart, from my understanding. So when you take less than 25% total base damage, just the same as a normal, you will get no bubble. When your total base damage is 25%, you will get a 1-hour bubble as opposed to a 12-hour bubble. If your base is 50% damaged, you will get a 2-hour bubble as opposed to the normal 24-hour bubble. And at 75 and 100% both, you will only get a 3-hour bubble as compared to the normal 36-hour bubble.
That's exactly what I don't like, because you can be hit that, like at 25%, you log on in the morning, you've been hit like 20 times.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that a little bit more too in the one of the later slides. That potential problems I see with the whole thing.
Right.
Next we got the PvP store. Once the bounty season is over, so in this case after 4 days, the store is going to open up. And at this point, you can spend all your secured and or unsecured bounty that you have. And here's just a sample of what the prize list may or may not look like. I'm not sure if any of this stuff is in there or not. If this is their prize point, and I think it's interesting that they have the incinerator for more points than the pride, just based on the usefulness of them both, but that's just me. And of course, you know, just like raids, any bounty that you have will not carry over into the next one, so make sure you spend as much as what you have. Now, they are adding a new thing with this bounty called the Conqueror Repair Queue. So while this bounty season is going on, Conqueror fleets will have a second repair queue that can be used for Conqueror fleets. And the fleets that are eligible for this will be noted with a Conqueror symbol and have a different color in the background in the dock. So, for example, as you can see, these have like a yellowish thing. That means you can be repairing one of these fleets at the same time that you're repairing something normal in one of your normal repair slots. And my understanding is, too, you could also be repairing 2 of these Conquerors then at the same time as well.
2?
Oh, that's good.
No.
Yeah, because one would be in your quote-unquote regular repair slot, and the other one would be in your Conqueror repair slot.
Okay. Can one be my base? No. Okay. So I could have a Conqueror.
One could be your base guard, just like it always could, and one could be a Conqueror fleet. So, you have some options there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's talk a little bit. At this point, we can now go back and talk about the whole thing. I just wanted to get the covering down mostly. Here are some potential problems I see already with the system without it even having started. With only getting a 3-hour bubble, if you're 100% smashed, you're either going to run most of the event with no guard, or you're going to have to be spending coin.
Yeah,
I also see using the map repair and never going back into your base so your OP doesn't repair. I can see that being a problem because, you just stay out on the map and repair your base and fleet in there and never go back in your base so your OP doesn't repair. Unless they've thought far ahead enough to put an auto repair function on the OP if you opt into this.
Yeah, I would agree that we need an auto repair just so it's not whose connections stays the best, who can stay on the map the longest without having to go in their base. So I'd like to see something adjusted on that.
And what with the people not doing the what's it called? The bounty?
That's the one I can see. Like, okay, well, I'm going to use Ross and I as an example. Say I decide to participate, and Ross decides not to participate. I can see him going in, smashing somebody's base to 100%. Because he's better at PvP than I am, because I don't do it very often. And then at that point, they get their short bubble, and then I can just go in and farm them over and over and over, getting as much bounty as I can until they're not worth anything to me anymore, moving on.
And then in turn, I could give him a 3-hour dome.
Correct, but I'm not sure if that would be helping me much, though, because then that would mean I would be flat and real weak for the next guy.
Well, but I'm thinking if you're running with 100% at base, I guess it wouldn't matter. Even it would make no difference because you're 100% flat.
I'm sure you can use it either way to manipulate things, but I find that in this scenario where I would have you go in and prep people for me and then I'd go smash them and farm them would be much more easily abused than the other way.
Right. I agree. I think there's going to be some interesting ways to, that I want to be in there that you can kind of manipulate the system as far as everyone having the same time frame. We all know what time certain points will be banked, certain things will be, you'll be able to launch attacks, timed attacks. Really, it could be interesting. I like that part of it. So we'll see how the bank time frames work out through the day.
If you guys want to carry on this conversation for a little bit, one of the game designers actually just messaged me, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions to see if he can clarify for me.
Now, on the sure, I don't know, but I really do see my problem with this is it's hard for me to stop the Rage Fleet now. If I do stop it, I consider myself lucky, in all honesty, and I'm a top level base, and so truly it's going to be a matter of who coins the most or who just runs flat. Is what I see happening, and I don't want that to happen. I like this introduced into the game, into adding PvP base hitting back into this. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't deter people from trying it out. I know that I've talked to many people, and many people say that they don't think they're going to participate. Well, I'm really hoping that they give it a shot and at least give it a try. We can't really say it's bad until we give it a shot. And I'm willing to do that. They're at least willing to introduce PvP. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm not saying it's going to go smooth, but heck, it's going to give us a good starting point. And I think that that just them introducing this alone is a great step, and I'm willing to participate. I'm not willing to coin my guard repeatedly, time and time and time. But I'm going to give it a go, and so I like the fact that I won't be awarded bounty for hitting down. So that's good. Can anybody in chat see other problems that we're missing here? Or Caleb, can you see any?
We were also lost connection at one point. Sorry, guys.
Well, we're still talking about the bounty here, and we were just going over to still issues that you might see being problems.
I can see the Frubble's been a problem.
I know one thing. I had actually just asked if defense guards are going to get any kind of additional modifiers or not, and they said no. They're just going to get the regular same old modifier that they get in the usual defense slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only problem I see is going to be if you get buddy bubbles or something. Just in case when a member of their alliance drops tag and something, they just keep hitting them every 3 hours or something.
Well, I guess I didn't mention that. I do foresee a problem, or a change in the medal system now. I do believe that medals are no longer going to apply really, because of this 3 hour bubble length. That surely the large medal holders are going to participate in this. I really do believe they will. They'll give it a shot because there are rewards, and some of the rewards we don't know, so it might be really neat, and so they're going to lose medals. I mean, it's just going to happen, and I don't even think that they're going to be posted on the when you click on the base. If they're in bounty any longer, I don't think their medals will be even listed. And so that's going to be interesting. I mean, I know I won't be able to hold any medals, not with the dome every 3 hours, but I'm going to try.
I think there's a couple things to be aware of too. Like number one, it hasn't happened yet, so there's still some things that we're kind of vague on. I mean, even though they've put the description and the up on the forums and everything, there's still a lot of things that we're unsure about. And this is going to be its first time out. I am sure that as it continues on, there's going to be a lot of things that change from the first one to the second one to the third one to the fourth one. It's going to be a constant work in progress. But I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I mean, honestly, and for somebody like me who doesn't care about PvP at all, what do I have to lose? You know what I mean? I don't care about medals. I don't care about much anything. I don't have nothing to lose. And if I get some kind of prize or 2 or 3 out of it, freaking awesome. And if I don't, oh well, it's just like any other day on the farm getting hit every couple, every day or every other day or every couple hours or whatever the case may be.
It will be every couple hours. However, so what? What's that going to really, what's that cost you? You just your dock at the most.
What are they going to do? Are they going to change the base repair time for this event or not?
Not that I've heard.
So I was reading the chat then, and Rick said something about base repair times.
Yeah, from everything I've gathered so far, the information that I've got, there's going to be no change on the base repair times.
Well, I might be a drive-through, but at least I'll be hitting, I think. I mean, that's how I'm going to look at it. Well, I'll try to see what I can do here. I can't repair a guard every 3 hours, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, repairing your guard every 3 hours is going to cost too much as well. And repairing your base.
Right.
I mean, I'm definitely interested to see how it's going to work out, though. I don't know. And good thing is, if you don't think it's for you, just don't hit the join button. You know?
Exactly. That's the good thing about it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to, really.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't, if it's not for you, just don't hit the join button, and your game will be exactly the same, and nothing will change.
Right. And those who do, and I'm glad that they do, because no matter how it goes, honestly, if it's a flop, then we know how then at least they know on what didn't work. Is how I look at it. That's how I'm going to look at this, and so it's a great opportunity to introduce base hitting back into this game that's been gone so long. I really like that. So I'm all for it.
I mean, I know there's a lot of people, and some of them are in chat right now saying, you know, it's the new money pit and whatnot. But let's be honest, anything in this game is only a money pit if you allow it to become a money pit. You know, there's nobody there holding the gun to your head and forcing you to hit that coin purchase button. You know, I mean, it's only a money pit if you allow it to become a money pit.
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, so I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see exactly what all happens. Like I said, it'll be an interesting first test run. I'm sure after the first test run, there will be things that change in the next few iterations of it.
Oh, definitely. And let's be honest. You're never gonna make every single person happy. So I mean, at least look at all these good. I mean, we're gonna have an opportunity for store prizes. Now, I'm not thrilled about skins, but I heard that there's a defense ship offered in this. Well, heck, I could use right now. I could use a defense ship. So I don't know how great a defense ship that is, but I'm up for that.
Let's talk a little bit about probably the most common fleets we're going to see out there that'll be hitting during this bounty, and what the best ways to probably defend against them are.
It's going to be all rages. I can see it now.
I was going to say, yeah, let's talk about the one that's at the top of everybody's list, and that's the Rage.
I would definitely say it's the Rage. I don't have a problem damaging the Rage myself. I'm able to damage the Rage with with other throwers on other hulls. However, my issue is the shroud length of time that I'm having problems with myself. So at the moment, I'm lucky to stop them. That's how I would consider myself.
I stopped a few fleets, but I can't stop every fleet of Rage because there's some people that runs different things with them.
I think what I've seen most effective so far is a Retribution backed up by the bonuses from a Zoe's Ret. Because the key thing against the Rages is you got to be able to one-shot them. You know, you got to get to the point where the Ret can then just one-shot them. Because if they get the Shroud going, you're in big trouble. So my current Ret build that I have that's backed up by the Zoe's right now, I was able to kill the Flag, and I got like 3 of the others down to like 97%, and then there was an 82 and a 65. So I think my particular Rage or Ret build that I'm using, I just need to tweak a little bit. But I think once I get that tweaked, I think I have a very good shot of stopping them with the one-shot deal.
Okay. I'm sure not having that luck. I mean, they're just separating one on me, and then they're trying to. Well, they are 1-for-1 in me until those Rets are gone, or they're going for the splash. And they're adding, an Inquisitor to the fleet, and then working and on getting that in timed right with the Rage at the same time. to get the splash. It's the rage is certainly a hard thing to stop. I'm getting there. I'll get there. I've got a couple things. I truly, I have it right now. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about it. I thought about it, and I'm have not seen anyone use the launcher turrets successfully, to tell you the truth. And so I put 6 right at the front of my channel, and so I'm hoping I can possibly start that boom farther out, and so even when if they do shroud, they come out of shroud inside my base before they get to my OP is my hope. So I'll keep you posted on how the launcher turrets work. I put 6 all together, and I would think that 6 might create a boom. So we're gonna see, and if not, it's just a whole heck of a lot of base parts is all.
Your first 2 weeks, rage. Sorry. I was gonna say the first 2 weeks the rage come out, I changed my base about 20 times. It's hard to stop them completely. My base guard, I tried every single ship, but now I've got it slightly down. I'll just have to keep refitting some here and there.
Let's talk a little bit about other fleets too that people might see. People that aren't in that top echelon of got the rages and spent the money to get them built already and have them fully skilled and everything. Like your average Joe guy, what kind of fleets do you think he's going to be seeing that are going to be?
He's going to be probably within the Pride with a Survivor and an Inquisitors with the Survivor as well.
So I know, me personally, I find against both of those fleets that incinerators in your guard actually work very good against both of those fleets from my personal experience, because they have a pretty high corrosive deflection value, and you put some war plating on them to cut down on that splash, and oh yeah, those incinerators can stand up against that corrosive damage for days.
Yeah, I think they're a strong haul. I think for in your base guard, I think the Spike is a darn good haul for. I mean, if you're looking at your radioactive deflection, I think isn't the Spike one of the highest?
Yeah, the Spike comes in at 100,000 radioactive deflection.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty amazing. I mean, so far, I just can't. You don't get the range from using a thrower, and missiles don't quite do enough, but it's got a great deflection, so if you can come up with some use for that, that's a good, also could be in a possible defending haul.
You could even see gluttonies come out again. If someone prepped the base out for them, they could just use their gluttonies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with only limited repair time for your base under these bounty rules, yeah, gluttonies could definitely be a potential thing. Because that splashing out turrets, including those UTT transformers, will be fairly easy with these 3-hour repairs on them.
Oh yeah,
right, and especially if you start to use them at the end of these cycles, when the people's bases are down, that's you. So I think you'll change on your fleet might change through as it progresses. I think you'll see a lot of bases with no guards through the end of through the end of the days, or at least maybe at the end of the tournament.
I think the big problem though is once you get in this, if you're not exactly happy with the way that things are turning out as far as your short bubble and not having your guard in, when we get caught up in the spirit of competition, we all have the tendency to be like, oh, I'm not going to let him get me, I'm just going to spend this coin. I'm not going to let him get me, I'm just going to spend this coin. If you're not happy with what's going on, don't fall into that trap. because if they see people coining like crazy during this thing, then we will have created our own monster. It won't be Kicksai's fault. It will be our fault that this is what we have to deal with.
No,
Because
I totally agree. I agree. I want to reiterate that what you're saying there. Well, we truly control the game as we are the coin. I am. I know most players actually spend at least some money on this game, or many do. And if you don't like it, don't do it. Don't participate in those things you don't like. At least don't spend your money on them. You go ahead and participate, but just don't spend your money. And they will change the game to things that you like. You spend money on. I guarantee that.
And another thing I was gonna say, once you think you want to give it a go, you can't get back out of that bounty. They won't let you like quit the bounty, so you won't be part of it anymore either.
That's kind of a hard thing too, because losing my dome every 3 hours. I'm used to hitting quite a bit, but not every 3 hours I'm losing my dome. At least during at the night. I've always had a time I could go to sleep and wouldn't be hit multiple times. But hey, it's equal to everyone as long as everyone's going to happen to everybody else. I'm game. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna blow a bunch of smoke up everybody's ass and say, oh, well, it's even footing for everybody, because obviously the people who are willing to spend money on this will have a huge advantage. I mean, a huge advantage. But I mean, it is what it is, dude. If it sounds interesting, participate in it, see what you can get out of it, because eventually, if you're a non-coiner, you're going to be being paired up against other non-coiners. So eventually you will hit your target goal and your target players that you are on the same footing as you. At the very beginning, probably not. At the very beginning, when I first log on and I first, get involved and I'm probably going to get hit by some guy who spends like 1,000 coins a month or, $1,000 a month maybe. And he's going to farm the freaking shit out of me, but he'll eventually knock me down so far enough that I will get on other people who are at my level that play, spend like 10 or 20 bucks a month, where I will be much more competitive. So, just play at your level and be happy at your level. Don't be, looking at the Joneses across the street and being, man, I wish I had what they got. I wish I could do this. Just do what you do. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Be happy at your level and what
exactly
that can get you.
And they're not going to be awarded bounty points for hitting down. So in very short amount of time, you will be paired up with people your own level. So in that respect, I mean, you're right. Not right off the bat.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. That's for sure.
What about your alliance? Could you get one of your alliance guys to guard your base as well as help with your base as well, or not?
I'm assuming guarding will work the exact same as it always has. I'm assuming. I didn't see him say anything about that one way or the other, so I'm assuming no news means everything will be the same in that aspect.
Cool.
I mean, the main thing I did find interesting, though, and I'm not, as we talked about earlier, I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing, is bounty you receive is not based on damage you deal whatsoever. It's just based on destroying the outpost. So I think that thing is staying on the map and never going back in your base. I can see that getting the hell abused out of it for those people who are going to be coining their way through this.
I agree. I mean, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm going to try that myself. I can just look and see that I saw that right away as being the case. So it's going to be whose connection's the best, or who can stay on the map without having to refresh and go inside their base.
I guess the one big key thing for that, though, is if that's the way you want to play it, you're going to have to be up for 4 days straight. You know?
Right. No, or if you could do it, if you know what time they're gonna, those 3 times through the period, 3 periods through the day where they bank them. I mean, I'm certainly gonna make a run right at those times. I hope. It'd be interesting. I'm gonna give it a shot. We won't know till we see it.
I love our designers. You know, they message me and say, "Hey, I can answer a few questions real quick for you right now if you want." And they answer one, and then they disappear. I'm just like, "Thanks, guys."
Well, they answered one. That's all right. All right. Well, that's about. I just hope that people do participate, or they don't. It's their option, I guess. It's just it does add base hitting to the game again, so I'd like them to think of it that way also. There will be kinks, of course. This is the first time out. It will get better.
I will say this, a lot of people are wanting to compare this to the old Forsaken Arena tournaments that we used to have, and currently I would probably tend to agree with that. Is that the way it's currently set up is a bit of a wallet war. But I will also say this. It seems like Kixeye over the past few months has been much more willing to learn from their mistakes than they were back when we had the FAT. So hopefully as we progress with this, it will get better and more geared towards the way that we all want it to be, and not be like the FAT thing where they're just going to make it worse and worse and worse as we progress until finally nobody even wants to do it at all. I at least see better potential for our feedback to be acted on this than what I ever saw in the FAT.
Yes, if we give good constructive feedback as a community, we can't just say, "Oh, look, that's crap." Well, if we can add actually constructive things to make it better, I think that also helps. I see a lot of times as an alliance leader alone, I get, or just from general people send me copies of what they've sent in for tickets, and I think, wow, you really expected to get something done with this. And I think that the same with the forums or just in general, that you can't just complain about it. Let's be constructive and offer suggestions too at the same time. So let's go at this a little bit open. I do see these problems being abused, but hey, let's call it. Let's just they're in the game right now. We have the same. There's problems in the game right now. That's just how it is. That's kind of how life is. So
yeah, nothing runs straight. Like nothing runs smooth the first time, but knowing kicks, they'll probably try and get it sorted out in the first couple of hours, like they normally do during the raids as well.
Well,
takes a couple of hours to smooth things out, like all the bugs and everything.
Does anyone know about anything on the defense hall that is offered?
No, as far as I know, they have not posted any kind of stats or anything on that yet. I saw the one little screenshot login blurb about it being called the Courage, but I haven't seen any kind of stats. I haven't even seen where like definitely 100% this is going to be in there, although I'm assuming with the screen pop-up it will be. But I haven't seen anything about stats or how many points it's going to be. And quite honestly, until it actually gets up and running, even though they've given us information, a lot of what we have to base on is still kind of speculation at this point without seeing how it exactly is going to be in effect.
I agree. We just have this little strip off the forum page to go by, so we're just guessing, and it's going to add some fun into it. Honestly, this is really some bases that are going to get hit fast, and so that's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, the first few hours will definitely be interesting. I hear. I'm going to use my Swami fortune telling, and here's what I see: the first few hours is going to be a huge cluster everybody's going who gets in is going to be getting smashed and smashed and smashed. The forums are going to blow up like crazy, and then we'll see what it goes from there. But that is my prediction for what will happen the first 2 hours. It'll be almost like a raid. You'll go to the forums and you'll see 3 pages of nothing but complaining on the first 3 pages.
I'm going to hide the first 2 to 3 hours of it.
Now, so you're going to wait for a couple hours before you join up?
Yeah.
See, I'm a glutton for punishment. As soon as it becomes available, I'll hit the join button. That way, when we do some wrap up and more talk about it on the next show, I can be like, "Oh my God, that thing sucked for the first 2 hours," you know.
And I'll tell you how smooth it was waiting for the first like 4 to 3 hours gone by.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, I think that's pretty much the best explanation we can give you guys right now without it having started and with the limited. Well, it seemed like limited information, but it was actually a lot of information in that little post on the forums. But you know, there's still a bunch of things that are kind of a little bit gray, a little bit unanswered. So hopefully we've explained to you what we could explain to you from what we gleaned. And be ready to get hit by rages and inquisitors and to be a sad panda for the first couple hours until you end up getting paired with the people who are on your level.
Well, there is a good thing about this. You cannot buy bubbles.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That's a very good thing.
I agree.
Yeah, because nothing like going out and smashing a whole bunch of people, getting a whole bunch of bounty, and then like, oh, I'll buy 1 week bubble.
I'm going to have my guard on my base.
All right.
But yeah, I think that pretty much covered everything that we know and that we can speculate and whatnot at this point. So do you guys have anything else to add here at the end?
No, that's pretty much all we can really say about it, to be honest.
Right. I don't know any more than that right there and what was listed on the forums. So good luck, everyone. I'll see you out there.
Yeah, if you have any interest in it whatsoever, give it a chance. See what happens. And if you don't like it, then that means don't spend anything on it. Don't participate in it next time around. But if you do like it, do what you want to do according to how much you like it.
I agree.
So I guess that's pretty much it for this episode. Maybe, I don't know, I'll talk to the guys maybe like Friday or Saturday. Maybe we'll come back and do like a short half-hour thing once it's actually going and underway. That way we can talk a little bit more about it and we'll see what's going on, what we like, what we don't like, and give a little bit more detailed feedback than what we're able to give right at the moment.
That'd be cool.
Sounds good. And thank you all for those that I know out there and watching on the side and chat. And your messages on the side really do help the show smooth run along too.
Yep. Any of your questions that we can address, we're more than happy to try to fit into the show. And until next time, if you liked what you saw here, smash that like button and hit subscribe, and we will talk to you next time around. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.